Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Friday Night Sports again. Stan Gravois along with Bobby Arceneaux. Bobby is the director of girls sports here in Terrebonne Parish. And I'm sure it's getting to be all-star time as we're wrapping up June, getting into July. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with recreation.
Yes, Stan, we just wrapped up our girls program, but we have a little parish tournament we play in all age groups. That was completed last Thursday. Picked all our all-star teams Friday, Saturday, and Monday. And they're practicing right now. We have an 8-year-old, 10, 12, and two 16s.
Really?
Yeah, so and our older girls, we play a rec league and a competitive league. So what I do, I don't force anybody either way. I hope the good players, or I say good, the junior high school players go in a competitive league, and the kids who just want to play just to have fun go in the rec league. And so but we do pick all-star teams out of that rec league too. So they're treated no differently than a competitive league. We play Babe Ruth softball.
That's what I was wondering. Your franchise, baby, all from the little ones on
all
up?
The way up, yeah.
Very good.
The 8-year-olds is a machine pitch league, which we kind of funny it happened. A year before Babe Ruth went to 8-year-olds, we went to the machine pitch league and our leagues. And Babe Ruth started 8s, and they did machine pitch. So it was the best thing we ever did in 8s. Used to be a coach pitch in the 8s. Hard to pitch to a little kid. It's hard to pitch to them. So I came up with the idea, let's put a machine in there. And it's the best thing we ever did. Not because I did it, but I'm just saying it worked. Everybody bats 3 and 4 times a game now. We play an hour and 15 minutes. You get 5 innings in. So everybody, the whole purpose of the league is to swing the bat, play a little defense. There's no pitching. So, but our 10s we pitch in that. The players pitch, and of course 12s all the way everybody pitches. Our all-star teams, the 8s, 10s, and 12s go to St. Charles Parish.
What do you compete? What is the hierarchy of? Do you go to a regional first, a district, state, straight to state?
State tournament, a regional, which is in Gulfport, Mississippi, then a World Series for the 12s and 16s only. Babe Ruth only has those 2 age groups for World Series. But all of them go to a state and a regional, and then that'll be as far as 8s and 10s, and there's a 14-year-old league. We don't have any players in that. But the 8s, 10s, and 12s will go to St. Charles around Luling by the 310 bridge.
Right.
They'll play down there. Our 16s and 18s will play here in Homer. We're going to host a state tournament here. And then the top 2 teams in each group goes to Gulfport for the regionals. And
last year, Arkansas or something, huh? Didn't you have a couple all-star
Arkansas,
teams?
yeah. We went to the state tournament was in Kentwood, and then you went to when you host a regional, you host all the age groups. 8s, 10s, 12, 14, 16, 18.
So it's one place.
One place. Next year it'll be in Homer.
Very good.
We're going to host it in Homer. About 71 teams. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, and we'll talk about that later on. But it's going to be a huge tournament here in Homer next year.
Very good.
But I'm looking forward. Our 12-year-olds are pretty seasoned. They're not bad. We have a good shot in our 12s to advance. Got about 6 pitchers, and legitimate pitchers. Some teams have throwers. We have some pitchers that can bring it. Our 16s would have been really good. What happens when you get to that age group, a lot of these girls are volleyball players. Volleyball goes to team camps with the high schools. We lost half of the teams to that.
Really?
So it's a tough call. I mean, they're volleyball players plus softball players, and they're signed up for these team camps. Bourgeois going to the University of Florida. So I mean, we lose all those bourgeois kids, some good bourgeois players.
I might go to University of Florida too.
Yeah, it's a tough call there. And but anyway, so you lose those older kids. It's a tough call for them. But our 12-year-old group is I'm looking forward to watching them.
Well, and I trust your judgment on that, and I have to go back and congratulate you something from basketball season. You had mentioned that some of the girls teams that were going up there were going to be very competitive in the national level, and one of the groups won it all.
The 8s won it all,
And we were concentrating on the 8 boys here because Dr. Mickey Jennings and those folks do such a good job in Thibodeau putting on it for the boys. But while the boys were going on the next weekend, you girls went up to, I think, Slidell.
Slidell,
You won it all, so congratulations on that. Boys recreation, and I'm just trying to clarify this, so correct me if I'm wrong, my ignorance on this. In Terrebonne Parish, it's not per se all-star teams that go out. Is it still more the travel teams that pretty much take the place of that?
No, we have our leagues, and the boys play USSSA, and they all went last weekend to state. So, and I don't know exactly how they did because I focus with my girls program. So,
right.
But I know they all went. I was talking to Sterling this week. He said a couple of them did qualify to move on. But they play USSSA.
So it's USSSA.
Yeah.
And you actually know of a young team that's actually doing really well.
Yeah, I tell you
going
what,
on.
the Blast. In fact, my son-in-law is one of the coaches, and my grandson plays on the Blast, Thomas Amador, and they're going to the World Tournament in Sulphur the week of July 7th.
July 7th.
And I've been kind of following them, watching them. I figured I pitched to him the last 2 days in the backyard, But they're a pretty good team.
Really?
They are really good.
So if all of those kids would have stayed together, watch out. Huh?
Oh man, that's the bad part. When they get to a certain point in school, they splitting up all over. I know Terrebonne's going to get a few of these kids, so there's some promising baseball players coming up. But this little Blast team, 7-year-olds, is pretty darn good, and they have an 8-year-old team also that's not bad. So.
And I think they're going in that same tournament. They're going to Sulphur that same time.
But I mean that brand of ball, when you it's not just a bunch of little 7-year-olds running around the field.
Right.
You hit the ground ball to the shortstop with a third baseman, they're gonna throw you out.
That's right.
If you're on first and they hit it to third, they're gonna throw it to second to get you out.
I've seen it. It's very impressive.
Oh yeah, it really
It's
is. So
very
I'm looking forward to those guys going up there.
Very good. We do have to take another commercial break, but since you do high school football and very knowledgeable about that, we're going to run through each of the districts that our local teams play in. There's a lot of teams we're not real familiar with that are in our local districts now, too, so it's going to be real interesting. And we're going to look at their non-district schedule, and I'm going to ask Bobby, who has the toughest non-district schedule, who's got the weakest non-district schedule, because that could go a long way in making the playoffs. We'll do that after this break.